top stories tonight in Y News. The Department of Justice, or DOJ, has released a clarification outlining the procedures to be adhered to in the event that the International Criminal Court, or ICC, conducts investigations in the country.
The Bureau of Fire Protection issues fresh reminder to the public on fire safety as the year-end approaches.
The Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, seeks to review the policies of state universities and colleges regarding student admission.
And the United Nations names the new senior humanitarian and reconstruction coordinator for Gaza.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, December 27, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Joselito Liquido.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Elsie Marcos.
First in the news. In a recent development, the Department of Justice, or DOJ, has issued a clarification regarding the procedures to be followed if the International Criminal Court, or ICC, were to conduct investigations here in the Philippines. Dante Amento tells us why.
In a recent vlog, former presidential spokesperson Attorney Harry Roque made startling revelations claiming that members of the International Criminal Court, or ICC, have been entering and leaving the Philippines, conducting investigations into the former administration's controversial war on drugs.
So meron po akong confirmation na talagang nag-iimbestiga ang mga dayuhan dito sa Pilipinas.
Roque emphasized that this alleged activity constitutes a clear violation of the Philippine Constitution.
Kaya nga po yung banta na nakikipagtulungan na tayo sa ICC, mukhang totoo.
However, when UNTV News sought a reaction from Justice Secretary Crispin Remulla over the issue, the Justice Chief further asserted that it is not a simple matter for individuals to come in and out of the country for investigations. Remulla highlighted the complexity of the international investigations, questioning the legal regime being pursued and whose rules of procedure were being followed. He stressed the importance of adhering to the Philippine rules to safeguard the basic constitutional rights of the accused. He also underscored that the ICC should, as a matter of courtesy, coordinate with the Department of Justice. Adding to the legal discourse, assisting counsel to the ICC and lawyer for the drug war victims, Attorney Cristina Conti argued that while the Philippines can regulate the entry and stay of visitors, it allegedly cannot impose its guidelines over the ICC's investigation. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Philippine Ports Authority, or PPA, is gearing up for another surge in passenger traffic expected before the year's end and after the holidays. Today, December 27th, surprise inspections were carried out at two major ports in the country, Batangas and Calapan Port. Currently, 17,000 to 18,000 passengers are being monitored at Batangas Port, with expectations that this number may reach up to 22,000 passengers. Meanwhile, Calapan Port currently has 8,000 passengers, and projections indicate it could climb up to 17,000 to 18,000 during the anticipated passenger influx in January.
Talagang puspusan din yung pagpe-prepara natin, to make sure na although maayos naman yung naging sistema nung bago magbisperas ng Pasko, of course we want to improve it further, para mas maging maayos pa yung biyahe ng mga kababayan natin.
The challenge lies in the fact that Batangas, with only 15 available ships, may not have sufficient capacity to accommodate the expected number of passengers. According to the PPA, the period from December 16th to 26th saw a substantial surge in passenger traffic, reaching a staggering 2.4 million passengers.
Hindi naman na sorpresa yan. Talagang inaasahan natin na magkakaubusan ng ticket. Weeks before sinabi na natin yan. At ang talagang rason din yan, kulang din talaga yung biyahe, no? Kulang yung barkong bumabiyahe. Well, siguro magandang tanungin natin dyan yung Department of Transportation at saka Maritime Industry Authority, no? Dahil yung pagpapalago at pagpaparami ng mga sasakyang pandagat nandoon sa mandato nila at sa jurisdiction nila.
Walk-in passengers are now able to quickly board provincial buses at the EDSA terminals. Some passengers have decided to travel back to their provinces ahead of time to avoid the expected surge on travelers on Friday. According to Arnie Bernardo, officer in charge at the Baliwag Transport Terminal in Cubao, they do not have an early booking system. Passengers simply walk in. He assured that there won't be any issues with boarding as they still have plenty of available bus units.
Ano lang sila, walk-in, kaya naagahan lang nila ang pagpunta para hindi sila makasabay sa karamihan ng mga pasahero. Pero marami naman tayong bus na bibiyahe.
Actually, pagdating namin, wala pa naman mga pasahero.
First come, first serve basis po sila. Kaya inagaan lang namin para hindi kami sumabay sa dagsaan ng uwi. Pagdating namin dito, paalis na yung sinundan nito. Then after that, eto na kaagad, nakasakay kami kaagad.
On the other hand, Solid North Transit Management mentioned having both an early booking system and accepting walk-in passengers. They encourage passengers to make early bookings on their website to ensure availability upon arrival at the terminal. However, they are prepared to add more bus units if needed for walk-in passengers. According to the bus terminal managements in Cubao, the terminals are relatively spacious today as many have already returned to their provinces. Nevertheless, they anticipate a potential influx of passengers on Friday, while on January 2, they expect the return of those who went home to the provinces.
As we approach the year's end, the Bureau of Fire Protections, or BFP, is putting a spotlight on fire safety. According to the agency, there have been reports of 2 fire incidents caused by firecrackers explosions. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
As the year draws to a close, many families are gearing up for special year-end celebrations. One such tradition is held by Mrs. Merly and her family, who gather for a special dinner. Mrs. Merly, ever mindful of safety, ensures that their LPG tank is free of leaks and in good condition.
Kailangan po i-check po natin yung ating mga lutuan, lalo po yung kalan. Bago po natin i-off, kailangan po, pinakatangki niya, dapat palagi po tingnan na naka-off bago iiwan.
Just like Mrs. Merly, the Bureau of Fire Protection, or BFP, encourages every family to prioritize fire safety practices. As we approach the year-end festivities, it's crucial to be mindful of measures that can prevent fire incidents. Firstly, the BFP emphasizes avoiding the use of firecrackers in residential areas. Many local government units have already declared a firecracker ban in private residences. Based on the BFP report, 2 fire incidents attributed to firecracker explosions have been reported.
Sana i-consider din po natin na mas maari itong makapagdulot ng malas sa atin dahil nga ang firecrackers ay isang napakalaking contributing cause ng pagkakaroon ng fire incidents.
Regularly checking your LPG tank for leaks, as Mrs. Merly does, is a vital step to prevent potential hazards. Additionally, it's essential to regularly check electrical lines and wires, steering clear of octopus and loose connections, unplug any unused appliances to reduce the risk of electrical fires. And when it comes to the heart of the home, never leave your kitchen unattended while cooking. Do not smoke, as cigarette butts can ignite fires. In the spirit of preparedness, encourage each family member to practice EDIT, or emergency drill, in the home. Having a home escape plan or emergency evacuation plan adds an extra layer of safety.
EDIT po tayo. Tayo po sa pamilya, pag-usapan po ito o saan ang main switch, saan ang fire exit. Ano po, lalong-lalo na kung naka-grills ang bahay natin. Tayo po ay may small opening na magiging exit. Minsan po nakalock. So at least alam po ng taong bahay saan ang susi ng lock ng yon.
And in the unfortunate event of a fire, remember to dial 911 immediately. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, the United Nations named Sigrid Kaag, the Netherlands outgoing finance minister, as the senior humanitarian and reconstruction coordinator for Gaza. The UN said in a statement that Ms. Kaag will oversee the humanitarian relief shipments for Gaza starting on January 8, 2024. Ms. Kaag also aims to establish a mechanism to boost incoming aid to Gaza through countries that are not involved in the conflict. Ms. Kaag is a veteran UN diplomat who previously headed a weapon experts international team to oversee the elimination of Syria's chemical stockpile. Now on its 11th week, the Israel and Hamas war continues to see a rising death toll and a worsening humanitarian crisis.
A winter storm fueled by blizzard conditions unleashes its fury across the United States plains and upper Midwest, causing heavy snow, freezing rain, and strong winds. The National Weather Service warns of dangerous travel during the busy holiday week, with wind gusts reaching 50 to 60 miles per hour and isolated gusts of up to 75 miles per hour. Blizzard warnings are in effect for parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, Colorado, and Wyoming. The total snowfall over Monday and Tuesday have exceeded approximately a foot in some areas, while an additional 6 inches or more of snow is expected in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming. The storm has already led to road closures and accidents due to low visibility. Travelers are advised to carry survival kits in case of stranded situations, but residents are also highly encouraged to avoid travel. For some regions, the winter weather threat shifted from snow to ice, with sleet and freezing rain causing scattered power outages and icy conditions. Ice storm warnings are in effect for portions of the Dakotas and Minnesota. Despite the disruptions and accidents, the situation is anticipated to improve by midweek as storm loses its potency. We'll share more global stories with you later.
For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. Meanwhile, one of the challenges facing the Commission on Higher Education is a low number of financially disadvantaged students who are able to enroll in public universities and avail themselves of the privilege of free education. This is why it is one of the issues that CHED aims to address in the year 2024. Nel Maribuhok will give us the details.
The Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, will review the policies of state universities and colleges regarding student admission. According to CHED Chairperson Prospero de Vera III, the percentage of economically disadvantaged students enrolling in public universities is low. This is one of the issues the agency intends to address entering 2024.
Ang PUP, 15 to 20% na lang ang nakakapasok galing sa mga mahihirap. Yung top universities, all less than 50%. So yan ang ating bagong battle cry ng 2024. Inclusive education, equity.
Among the issues identified by CHED is the unpreparedness of economically disadvantaged youth to enter college due to various life challenges. As a result, they are unable to avail themselves of the government's free education privilege.
Dahil sa dami ng gustong pumunta sa pamantasan, nai-squeeze out yung mga galing sa mahihirap na pamilya, mga anak na IB, kasi less prepared sila na kumuha ng admission test. Walang pangbayad yan para sa review class. No? mahina ang loob kasi galing sa Baguio, galing sa Banayo.
One of the strategies identified by CHED is to provide free career guidance seminars for poor students who are still in senior high school. CHED will also collaborate with the Department of Social Welfare and Development and Department of Education to identify individuals in need, ensuring that these students receive guidance and support until they complete their education. Nel Maribuho, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, is actively coordinating with the Office of the Transportation Cooperatives to formulate measures in preparation for the full implementation of the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program, or PUVMP, after December 31 consolidation deadline. In addition to this collaboration, the LTFRB is working in tandem with the local government units, or LGUs, to prepare for the next phase of the PUVM, which involves route rationalization. This strategic planning will determine the number of commuters and the required units of public utility vehicles, PUVs, for a specific route. LGUs are poised to assist the LTFRB and the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, in ensuring an adequate supply of public transport as they roll out the PUVMP comprehensive level next year. LTFRB data reveals that all major routes in Metro Manila are currently being operated by consolidated entities, while secondary routes are served by various modes of public transportation. The agency is set to provide updated data on consolidated PUVs nationwide on December 29.
The Bureau of Customs, Port of Clark, in collaboration with various law enforcement agencies, seized a staggering 8,126 grams of shabu with an estimated value of 56,069,400 pesos. The consignee in Cavite was also apprehended in connection with the illegal shipment. Acting on intelligence from the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, or PDEA, the shipment from California, USA, declared as dry goods, underwent a rigorous X-ray screening and canine sniffing. District Collector Erasto Sandino, Austria, issued a warrant of seizure and detention against the shipment, citing a violation of Republic Act number 10863, or the Customs Modernization and Tariff Act, in relation to RA number 9165.
Four companies have successfully submitted complete documents for the bidding process to rehabilitate and manage the operations of Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA. According to the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, among the four bidders who submitted their requirements by the designated deadline earlier today are Manila International Airport Consortium, Asian Airports Consortium, GMR Airport Consortium, and SMC SAP and Company Consortium. The DOTR previously announced that 8 potential bidders expressed their intent to participate in the public-private partnership for NAIA operations. The DOTR's plan is to award the contract to the winning bidder in the first quarter of 2024.
Department of Migrant Workers Officer in Charge Hans Leo Kakdak is set to travel to Saudi Arabia to expedite the resolution of unpaid claims for overseas Filipino workers. These OFWs lost their jobs and have yet to receive their wages after the companies they were employed with declared bankruptcy. In an interview, Kakdak mentioned that he will be traveling to the Middle East to engage with Saudi authorities regarding the issue of unpaid claims. The official is hopeful that their discussions will progress, with potential developments in the matter expected in the first part of 2024. The Department of Migrant Workers previously disclosed that around 10,000 OFWs lost their jobs due to the closure of several companies in Saudi Arabia, and to date, they have yet to receive their salaries.
And in other global news, The Turkish Parliament Foreign Affairs Commission approved Sweden's membership application for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, yesterday, December 26. This comes after a 19-month delay as Ankara demanded security-related concessions from Stockholm before granting approval. Sweden submitted its NATO application last year amid Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The next step for Sweden's NATO membership is a vote in the Parliament General Assembly, where Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's party still holds the majority. It is anticipated that Sweden will once again pass in the upcoming vote, expected to take place within the next few weeks. If the majority favors Sweden, President Erdogan will ratify it, officially making Sweden a NATO member. Boris Ruge, Assistant Secretary General for the Political Affairs and Security Policy, expressed satisfaction with the news. In a meeting between NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg and Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson in October, NATO expressed belief that Sweden's membership would be a significant asset to the organization.
I look forward to welcoming Sweden as a full NATO ally in the very near future. Sweden's membership will make NATO stronger. Sweden is fully ready to join NATO. The time has come.
The U.S. International Trade Commission, or ITC, has halted tech giant Apple from importing its latest smartwatch models into the United States following a patent infringement complaint filed by another company. In response, Apple swiftly submitted an emergency request to the ITC to stay the ban on Tuesday, December 26. According to the ITC, Apple violated a pulse oximeter patent utilizing light-based technology to read individuals' blood oxygen levels, a technology questioned by medical device maker Masimo. U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai, after a thorough examination, decided not to reverse the ITC ruling. In the midst of this, Apple has removed the affected devices, such as the Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2, from its online store. This will be replaced with redesigned models pending approval from the U.S. Customs. The company has appealed to the Federal Circuit to stay the ban until the U.S. Customs and Border Protection determines whether the redesigned watches violate Masimo's patent. While the remaining stocks of Apple Watches continue to be sold in various stores and online platforms, the ITC ruling has halted the importation of other Apple smartwatches into the United States.
Japan is a step closer to its goal of landing a robotic explorer on the moon's surface for the first time. Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, announced that the country's smart lander for investigating moon, or SLIM, arrived in the lunar orbit on December 25. Olga Chalian will tell us why.
The Japanese robotic spacecraft Smart Lander for Investigating Moon, or SLIM, has been successfully inserted into an oval-shaped lunar orbit at 16:51, 4:51 p.m. Japan Standard Time on December 25, 2023. The milestone takes Japan a step closer to achieving its goal of a robotic explorer touchdown on the moon's surface for the first time on January 19, 2024. If the lunar landing attempt becomes successful, it will place Japan in history as the fifth nation that soft-landed a craft on the moon, next only to Soviet Union, United States, China, and India. However, in the 21st century, it will only be the third country to accomplish such a feat, aside from China and India. The lander is currently completing one loop of the moon every 6.4 hours, but will slowly tighten its orbit in the next few weeks, in preparation of its historic touchdown bid in the middle of January. SLIM is aiming for a landing zone target accuracy of less than 330 feet, or 100 meters. This precision will let SLIM live up to its nickname, Moon Sniper. It is a mission for researching the pinpoint landing technology required for future lunar probes and verifying this on the surface of the moon with the use of small-scale probe. The SLIM lander will enable humans to make a qualitative shift to being able to land at a target landing area rather than just where it is easy to land, according to JAXA officials. The moon lander will deploy 2 mini probes on the lunar surface if successful in its landing attempt. As written on the SLIM mission's press kit, the daughter crafts will take photos, help monitor SLIM's status, and become an independent communication system for direct communication with Earth. After the Moon Sniper's attempt to land on the moon's surface, the United States plans to launch as many as 3 robotic vehicles to the moon in 2024, as well as sending Artemis 2 with astronauts on board to orbit around the moon in late 2024. If the crewed Artemis 2's mission becomes a success, it could pave the way to send another mission to land humans on the moon before this decade ends. It could also be the first time that astronauts will return to the lunar surface after half a century from the 1970s. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity from Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time through the social media accounts of the Members Church of God International.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 24, it says, "A man that hath friends must show himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother." And those are the reasons behind the news December 27, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Elsie Marcos, live from Auckland, New Zealand.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Joselito Liquido, live from Malaysia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.